Okay, another short video of my Super Mono project. As I stated in my last one, quick spin around the block, realized that it wasn't going to make much of a race bike, but it should make a fun little street bike as long as I move the exhaust. So first thing, I'll start at the front. So this is going to be the dash plate. I purchased the components of a Baja, I think, design kit from California to turn dirt bikes into street legal machines. And so I didn't buy the entire kit, I just bought the components that I needed. So I fitted in it's got a keyed switch here, and it's got most of the controls on the left hand side. I got to figure out some sort of solution for the kill switch here. The bars aren't long enough to fit all of the stuff on it that I'm going to need to, especially if I want to have the bars the same width apart. I need some room on the end of the throttle side here for a clamp on rear view mirror, because again it has to be street legal. So I'll sort something like that out. I don't know if I'll get longer bars or what exactly I'll do, but it is what it is for now. So the key is on, so the horn works, it's very loud, and then we've got the turn signals that you can see working there, and then the other side like so. And then I don't have the headlight hooked up, but it does have a high beam switch, so it's off, and then low beam, and then high beam, and then there's a little high beam warning light. I'm still waiting on brake lights and stuff like that to come in, so I haven't quite put that all together yet. But of course, once I get it test fitted, then all of this wiring is going to have to be adjusted to suit proper or different ends put on. These are all good fittings, but again, it's designed for a massive dirt bike, so all of this stuff has to be cut quite a lot shorter. So around to the front is kind of it's not quite a rat's nest, but I needed to find a spot to hide all of the electrical components, because they were all wired to fit underneath a number plate, which of course doesn't exist, although I do have a fairing that's going to be fitted here. So on this lower fairing mount, I've got the horn and the regulator rectifier, and the headlight just clears it when you bolt it on. Tiny little NiCad battery here, because of course this bike will run without a battery, but this needs to work to power the headlights for the safety. So that's bolted in there. Put a little saddle there, and then I'm going to, this is a flasher relay, which I think I'll attach underneath here once I buy the Acewell dash that fits right here. And there's a quick plug and play with that little piece right there. So it's kind of neat. It's not quite the dash I wanted, but I need a dash, I need some gauges, and it's got to be street legal. So lots of wiring yet to do, but no big hurry. So I'm going to make, well, hopefully not an enemy, because I'm going to pay him, but my TIG welding exhaust building expert is going to have to do some work. And that a couple things were happening. Obviously with the underseat exhaust, when you went to flip the kickstand off, this was touching on the collector pipe. I could have wrapped it, but might as well move it anyway, because that's just going to continue to melt. So it's no longer under the seat and vibrating so much. It's uncomfortable. I've now moved it underneath the engine here. So I've tack welded a little mount right here, and then this will be obviously squared off when it comes to final assembly. But it's actually a snowmobile exhaust that's advertised to be a bit quieter than most, so we'll see, because the other exhaust was a bit noisy. And I thought about a fancy tip or curved ending or whatever, but I just kind of looked the purposeful, you know, off cut right there, and then it'll exit off to the edge of the tire. I don't think, you know, unless you were sitting in traffic for an hour, that wouldn't do any damage to the rubber there. It's just some exhaust gases. So what's going to happen here is this is going to have to be, you know, cut and shut, and then tapered down around and into there. So I've kept the pieces from the original undertail exhaust system, as well as the 2-into-1 collector here that came with the exhaust, and I'm ordered some stainless steel J-bends and that sort of thing to finish off this, because it's going to require a couple of turns and that sort of thing to get it to work. So yeah, that's where things are at right now. Depending on when the pipes, the stainless steel stock comes in, I'll either take this to my welding guy sooner rather than later or whatever. But in the meantime, when I have some time, I'll futz around with the lighting, and then hopefully when the rest of the lights come in, I can wire up the tail light and the brake light. So I've also moved the coil here. It used to be underneath the fuel tank. Actually, a lot of things used to be underneath the fuel tank. ECU as well, which is now going to go underneath the seat because, of course, it's a long way from the exhaust, so it's not going to get too warm. Even at that, I was a bit worried about the heat emanating off the top of the cylinder head. So this will actually be removed, and some of this sensitive electrical stuff will be moved away from that heat source. So coil's been moved there, and more of a traditional setup. So anyway, that's it for now.